Hi guys, welcome to Weeknight Gluten Free, where tonight we're going to be making Instant Pot split pea soup. This is a favorite of ours. It takes a little prep work, but it makes a good amount, so I still consider it an easy recipe because once you get it, you get several meals out of it. So we're gonna start by getting our Instant Pot going on saute. I always like to put 45 minutes on it. It doesn't take that long on saute, but I do it anyway, just in case. Put some butter in there, and then we're gonna add our olive oil to that. And then you're just gonna let that start to melt while you chop up your onion. So you're gonna use a whole onion and get it nice and chopped up like this. And then once that oil starts kind of bubbling, the butter's not totally melted, but that's okay. You just put all your onion right there in the pot. And then you want to give it a nice good stir to make sure it gets coated in the oil and butter while it's melting. So just make sure it's all good there. And then you're going to let that cook while you go back and quickly chop up your celery. So once the celery is all chopped up, it should look something like this. I used about 4 stalks here of celery, chopped it up, and then just put it right in the pot with the onion, oil, and butter. And then again, when that's in, you're gonna wanna give it a nice stir. And then once everything is nice and stirred up there, you just wanna make sure everything's combined, coated in the butter and oil. And then you go ahead and add in 2 bay leaves. Of course, remove those before you eat, but they do add a nice flavor. And then some thyme as well, some dried thyme, just to taste. We do quite a bit because we like that flavor. And then again, just give everything a nice good stir so everything's kind of mixed together well and nice and coated there. And then you're just gonna let that cook while you go ahead and chop up some carrots. I use baby carrots because that's what we had. You can use any type of carrot you want. I've even used frozen carrots in this. I wouldn't use canned because they'll probably get mushy, but once those are all chopped up, you just go ahead and put them in your pot. I use the equivalent of like 4 big carrots for this, but you can use however amount you like. And then you add your garlic into the pot with those carrots and some pepper as well. And then you want to put your ham in. This is leftover Easter ham that we had in the freezer. And my kids love when I make split pea soup with leftover ham. So anytime we have ham, they know leftovers means we're getting split pea soup, which is one of their absolute favorites. So you go ahead and make sure everything's cooked together here. So again, give it a nice good stir. You can see it's steaming up nicely as that ham touches the heat. And then once everything is nice and combined and is cooked for about a minute, you add in your chicken broth. You want to use about 6 cups of chicken broth. If you only have like a 4-cup container, you can always add 2 cups of water. I've done that many times before. It doesn't really alter the flavor at all. You just want to make sure it's mostly chicken broth. And then you go ahead and stir that all up. And then this part takes a while. You want it to come to a simmer. It takes a little bit to do that. So while you're waiting, this is a good time to go through your split peas. I've always been taught to go through split peas because they come just naturally, you know, so they sometimes can have like rocks or twigs or anything. I've never in my life found anything in my split peas. But I have heard that you can get things in, so I always go through and check. And then once it starts to simmer, again, it takes a while to get here, but once it's simmering like this, you just go ahead and add your split peas in to the mixture. And then you wanna, once they're all in there, sorry, it's hard to see, but once they're all in, you go ahead and give it a nice stir to make sure everything is combined. You don't want the split peas all sitting on one side of the pot. So they will sink to the bottom, but you can pull them up and see that they're there. And you just want to make sure that they're nice and mixed throughout and not all sitting on one side. And then you go ahead and put the lid on. You want to turn off the saute function. And then once the saute function is off, you go ahead and put it on the pressure cook function for 18 minutes on high pressure. And then you just let that come to pressure and cook for 18 minutes. And then once it turns off and it goes off of the cooking, you wait about 15 to 16 more minutes before you go ahead and release the pressure. So here we go. We're going to release the pressure. And then of course that takes a few minutes as well for the pressure to get released. And so I always just get my dishes together or whatever. This is what it looks like once it's all plated up. And of course, this meal is Bailey approved. Everybody have a good night.